Hello students, so this is the second subtopic of third unit of IB Chemistry Diploma. So this is about periodic trends. So this is the like in summarized way, the ionization energy which goes like from left to right. So electron affinity also it increases from left to right, atomic radius increases from top to bottom, and atomic radius across the period, you see that is the opposite arrow, that means atomic radius decreases on moving from left to right. Electron affinity decreases as we move from top to bottom. Ionization energy also decreases from top to bottom in a group. The objectives of this subtopic are to predict and explain the properties of an element by looking its position in the periodic table. So where the element is, so based on that, predicting the properties and explaining that. So that is the objective of this subtopic. Discuss the properties of elements in a particular group. For example, group 1 of alkali metals and group 7 of halogens. So that is in particular group 1 and group 7 halogens, or we can call them 17. Write equations for the reactions of, this is very important, reactions of sodium oxide, magnesium oxide, phosphorus oxide, nitrogen oxide and sulfur oxide with water. So these chemical equations and reactions you must practice. What you need to take care, you need to learn only the general periodic trends, general periodic time. However, the discontinuities in the increase of ionization energy across a period should also be learned. Okay, you need to learn the trends in the groups for chemical reactions of sodium oxide, magnesium oxide, phosphorus oxides, nitrogen oxides and sulfur oxides with water, like the trends. The TOK relationship here. So Mendeleev left places in his periodic table for the elements which were not discovered till then, based on the periodic trends of properties of elements, like prior elements, what were the trends. So based on that he like predicted. So that is how he was like able to do so. So can we guess that? Like, is sign depending on like just guesses? So but there was a fundamental basis, so this is for debating. Nature of science. So scientists made a great contribution by synthesizing new elements and substances based on the predictive pattern in a group, because the pattern was predictive, like what is happening across the group. So that's how it helped the scientists. Real life connections. The understanding of elements based on classification helped in predictive uses of elements. So understanding of elements based on classification, that is how we can use we can predict the possible uses of the elements. The major keywords in this subtopic are isoelectronic. Isoelectronic means having the same number of electrons. This is isoelectronic. Ionization, so to change an atom into an ion. Electron affinity, like adding the electron into a particular element or atom. Enthalpy, electronegativity, Pauling scale and amphoteric. So these are the few keywords which you will come across in this subtopic. So atomic radius. So first trend we can take, atomic radius. So can you see in this diagram what is happening? Hydrogen is smaller size, lithium bigger than sodium, more bigger than, the size is increasing from hydrogen to cesium. So what is happening? Size is increasing, that means atomic radius increasing, and they are in the, this is in the first group. So these elements are first group elements, that means alkali metals. So size is increasing. Similarly group 2 as well, group 3 or 13 as well, 14 as well, 15 as well, 16 as well, 17 as well and 18. This is noble gases group. So you see there is a trend, atomic radius increasing means atomic size is increasing. But why it is happening? Because their cells are increasing, they are getting bigger and bigger. So first cell, second cell, means 1 cell, 2 cell, 3 cells, 4 cell, 5 cells, 6 cells. So cells are increasing and atom is getting bigger and bigger. So that is what is like in this. So atomic size increases when we go from top to bottom in a group. Why? Because the number of cells are increasing. Ionic size. Moving further, so positive ions are always smaller in size than the parent atom due to increased nuclear attraction. So nuclear attraction increases, and that is why the positive ions are always smaller in size than the parent atom due to increased nuclear attraction. Same number of protons. What is the reason for that? Same number of protons but less electron increases the nuclear attraction and the size become smaller. That means outer electron pulls it like close to nucleus. So that means size is getting smaller. Metals lose valency electrons to become positive ions. We call positive ions as cations because cations have more protons than electrons. So for example, if we take sodium into account, so sodium atom has 11 proton because its atomic number is 11 and it is neutral, so it is 11 electron as well. But after loss of 1 electron, it left with 10 electron. So once the 1 electron, the outermost electron is like lost, it remain with 10 electron, but protons are not lost, so they remain 11 itself. That means 1 proton is extra, and that is why here like 10 and here 11, 281 and 28. Here there were 3 cells, now there are 2 cells. So which one is smaller? So this is smaller. That means cations are always smaller than parent atom because parent atom bigger, more number of electrons. Ion, less number of electron. Positive ion, that means cation. So more like nuclear attraction. Then opposite to this, negative ions are always bigger. So this is opposite to like positive ions. So negative ions are bigger than the parent atoms due to decreased nuclear attraction. Why it happens so? Because same number of protons but more electrons decreases the nuclear attraction and the size becomes bigger. Non-metals gain electrons to become negative ions. We call them anions. So positive ions are known as cations and negative ions are called as anions. Now why they are becoming bigger? Because anions have less protons than electrons because electron is added. So for example, chlorine atom has 17 proton and 17 electron in the beginning, but after gain of 1 electron it has 18 electron, but protons are not gained, so proton remain the same. That means 1 proton is less, means 1 positive charge is less, so it becomes chloride ion. And chloride ion 287 and chlorine atom 287 and chloride ion, while it gains 1 electron it changed to Cl negative ion and now it becomes 288. So 17 protons holding 17 electron in the beginning, and then now 17 proton holding 18 electron, so less likely to hold. So that's how it happens like in case of like anions. So cations are smaller in size than the parent, but anions are bigger in size. The reason is the nuclear attraction. So in cations nuclear attraction increases, so the outermost shell is coming close, but in anions nuclear attraction is decreasing, so size is increasing. Now if you can see, this is like ionic size. So see, lithium, sodium, potassium, ionic size also the same pattern is followed. Like as we go down the group, the ionic size increases. So that's how it is. And it is across, like as we go down the group, the size will always increase. Now the isoelectronic ions. What are isoelectronic ions? So if you can see here, oxide ion, fluoride ion, neon, sodium, magnesium 2 plus. Isoelectronic ions, now this is not an ion, this is a noble gas, just for reference because it is falling in between. The ions with the same number of electrons, we call them isoelectronic. What are isoelectronic? The ions with the same number of electrons. So the positive ions like sodium ion, magnesium ion, aluminum ion, etc. have same number of electrons, so they all are isoelectronic. Isoelectronic means same number of electron. So oxygen 2 negative, its original atomic number was 8, 8 plus 2 10, 10 electron. Fluorine was 9 but 1 negative, so it is now how many? 10 electron. So 10 electron, 10 electron. Neon was 10 only, so there is no positive or negative. Sodium was how many initially? 11, but 11 and it lost 1 electron. So what happens? 10 electron now. Magnesium was originally 12, it lost 2 electrons, so now how many? 10 electron. So if you see, all of them have 10 electrons, 10 electrons, 10 electrons, so they are isoelectronic. Though originally they were having different number of electrons, but after gain and loss, so negative ions are from gain, that is why, and positive ions are from loss, so they become same number of electron, they carry same number of electron, that is why they are isoelectronic. The negative ions, Cl negative ion, S2 minus, P3 minus, etc. have same number of electron, so these are also isoelectronic. So the isoelectronic ions across the period decreases in size, that is why you see the size is decreasing, these spheres are decreasing. So across a period, isoelectronic ions decreases in size, this is very important point. So isoelectronic ions, if they are of the same period, they will be decreasing in size from left to right. Now moving further, ionization energy. So what is that? So it is the amount of energy required to remove 1 mole of electron from 1 mole of gaseous atom. It is measured in kilojoule per mole. Now this is a journal atom. If it loses 1 electron, that is M plus ion. Now when we write this equation, this becomes a equation form like stoichiometric equation. So that means there is nothing, that means 1 mole. There is nothing, that means 1 mole, and there is nothing, that means 1 mole. That is why here few keywords are there like gaseous state and 1 mole. So what is ionization energy? It is the amount of energy required to remove 1 mole of electron from 1 mole of gaseous atom, and it is measured in kilojoule per mole. The ionization energy always decreases down the group. Why it is decreasing down the group? Because the size is getting bigger and nuclear attraction is decreasing, because the outermost electron is getting far away, because number of cells are increasing. That is why ionization energy always decreases down the group, because you need less energy to remove the outermost electron, because it is experiencing very less attraction, because it is far away from the nucleus. The ionization energy generally increases across the period. If we move from left to right, the ionization energy will generally increase. Now there are exceptional cases. For example, beryllium has higher ionization energy than boron in second period. So beryllium and boron. So beryllium has higher ionization energy than boron in second period, because now you see the electronic configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p1, because its atomic number 5. Beryllium is only 1s2 and 2s2 because its atomic number is 4. So it is easier to remove an electron from boron than beryllium. Otherwise what was there? The ionization energy generally increases across the period, but in this case it is not. The region lies in its electronic configuration. Okay. Electron affinity or electron gain enthalpy, both are the same term. Means what is in electron affinity or electron gain enthalpy? So it is the enthalpy change taking place when 1 mole of electrons are added to 1 mole of gaseous atom, the overall enthalpy change can be positive or negative. Now this is stoichiometric equation. Again, if there is nothing, that means 1 mole, 1 mole and 1 mole. So that is why when you define it, it is the enthalpy change which takes place when 1 mole of electrons are added to 1 mole of gaseous atoms. The overall enthalpy change can be positive or negative. The electron gain enthalpy increases across the period and decreases down the group. Now again, exceptional cases, fluorine has lower electron gain enthalpy than chlorine. Otherwise, what is there? Decreases down the group. But in this case, not, because fluorine is fluorine, chlorine. So as we go down, it should decrease. But in this case, no. Fluorine has lower energy in comparison to chlorine. This is very important, electronegativity. So if you see, electronegativity increases from left to right in across the period, and electronegativity decreases from moving top to bottom in a group. So it is a tendency, or it is the tendency to pull the shared pair of electron in a covalent bond. It is represented by Pauling scale. So what does this mean? It means, for example, like if there is a covalent bond between hydrogen and chlorine, so what will happen? Hydrogen and chlorine, they are sharing one pair of electron, but because chlorine is more electronegative, so this electron is being pulled by chlorine. So if I write it again this way, so this electron pair is here pulled by chlorine. So chlorine acquired partially negative charge and hydrogen acquired partially positive. So that means this is more electronegative. So that is why it is the tendency to pull the shared pair of electron in a covalent bond. The electronegativity increases across the period as it is shown in this diagram. If you can see, the electronegativity decreases down the group. So that means here it is great and here it is less. So more and less. Okay. So that's how it is. The three most electronegative elements are phone. So you need to remember this phone, like phone. So what happens with the phone? Phone means fluorine, oxygen and nitrogen. Fluorine, oxygen and nitrogen, they are the most electronegative elements, where fluorine is most, followed by oxygen, followed by nitrogen. So three most electronegative elements are phone. So just to make you like more connecting, you can remember it. Which are the three most electronegative elements? Phone, fluorine, oxygen and nitrogen. So just to make it a real life connection, to remember it. Oxides of metals and non-metals. So across the period, the elements are ranging from metal to non-metal. We know S block elements, they are metals. Then moving further, like from aluminium to like argon. So what is happening? It is up to noble gases through like non-metals. So example in period 3, sodium and magnesium form from metallic but basic oxides, because they are metals. Sodium and magnesium are metals, so we know them. Aluminium forms metallic but amphoteric oxide. Aluminium is a metal, but it forms amphoteric oxide. Why amphoteric? Because it can react with acid and base both. Reacts with acids and bases both. That is why we call them amphoteric. While silicon, phosphorus, sulfur and chlorine form non-metallic but acidic oxides. So all non-metals form acidic oxides, metals form basic oxides, aluminium forms amphoteric oxides. So sodium plus oxygen gives sodium oxide. So these two are basic oxides. This is amphoteric and these are acidic oxides. So non-metals, they form acidic, metals form basic oxides, aluminium is amphoteric. Chemical reactions of oxides, so you need to practice all these equations. So when sodium oxide and magnesium oxide reacts with water, they form alkalis. Alkalis means the bases which are soluble, so soluble bases. Soluble bases, that means containing hydroxide ions. in water, aqueous solution. So hydroxide ion in aqueous solution. So that means alkalis. Alkalis are soluble bases. In case of aluminum oxide, because it can react with acid and base both, that is why it is amphoteric. So it forms sodium aluminate and aluminum chloride or aluminum trichloride. Now non-metals or non-metallic oxides, they form acidic oxides. Non-metallic oxides are acidic oxides. So now they form acids. So they all are acids. So metals form alkalis. And non-metals forms acids, non-metallic oxides. So phosphorus oxide forms phosphoric acid, sulfur dioxide forms sulfurous acid, sulfur trioxide forms sulfuric acid, nitrogen dioxide forms HNO2 and HNO3, nitrous and nitric acids. So you need to practice these equations. Now moving further, alkali metals, the physical properties like melting point, boiling point, electronegativity and electron gain enthalpy, they decreases. The physical properties as we move down the group. So from top to bottom, if you move, then what will happen? The physical properties like melting point, boiling point, electronegativity and electron gain enthalpy, they will decrease. That means up is more, here it is less. Okay. The chemical reactivity also increases as we move down. So this chemical reactivity will increase. Why it will increase? Because it is easier to lose the electron, to remove the electron on moving down the group. The reaction with water becomes explosive as we go down the group. So in this case, cesium and francium, it could be explosive in case of like francium, and cesium as well little. The reaction with halogens also become easier on moving down the group. So reaction with halogens, it becomes easier when we move down this group. So that is like about properties of alkali metals. In case of halogens, the physical properties like melting point and boiling point increases as we move down the group. The electronegativity and electron gain enthalpy decreases. The chemical reactivity decreases. Fluorine is the most reactive halogen. Which is the most reactive halogen? That is fluorine. The upper halogen can displace lower halogen from its salt solution. This is very important property. Like the upper halogen, for example, chlorine reacting with any salt containing bromine. So that means bromide ion. So chlorine can replace bromide ion from its salt solution. So it turned into chloride ion, and bromide ion turned into bromine. So that is like upper halogen can displace lower halogen from its salt solution. So guys, I hope you might have understood this subtopic, and if not, you need little bit recap. So you can pause the video, or you can like go back and like read it, or listen it and watch it, and you can also look for the previous subtopic as well. Thank you very much.